Welcome back to the new episode of Beauty and Co. The Art of Aesthetics with Dr. Catherine and Yen. Okay, today we are going to talk a bit about a story recently that happened in Malaysia. It's a rather tragic story, I would say, where a 29 years old lady, okay, she lost her life during a failed procedure in Johor Bahru, actually. Okay, so we all know that aesthetic procedures should not be done irregulated by a non-doctor, but sadly, this still happens in Malaysia till today. So I would like to get Dr. Catherine advice on this. What could have gone wrong when it comes to surgical procedures like this? For example, in this case.
I believe this was a case of breast filler injection. So it is an injection of filler material into the breast. I won't say it's a surgical method, but of course the risk or the complications that could arise is as severe as going through a surgery. Okay, so I believe in this case, it was a lot of infection found in the filler. Maybe. So it could have come from unhygienic product being injected. So maybe the filler material is already contaminated in the first place. Or it was during the procedure where when the filler was injected into the filler, the surrounding, the operating table, the treatment bed, or the tools, the needles and stuff were not being properly cleaned before being used.
So I saw when you're talking about this filler, I think number of years back, we saw people selling fillers in Shopee, breast fillers. I'm like, where does this come from? Oh my God, what are the things that you're going to inject into the breast?
So we must know that everything that goes into our body, inside our body, has to be clean, right? It has to be free of bacteria, virus, fungus, etc. Okay, because this has a risk of having bacteria infection. So this bacteria
for this
could
case,
travel.
You think it's bacteria infection?
Yeah, I think it's bacteria infection, and those bacteria actually could travel into your blood system and travel to the entire body and cause something called sepsis. And sepsis is something that could cost your life. Sepsis can lead to death.
So it's very sad for me to see that in the years of in the beauty and wellness industry, I think also maybe 2 years ago we saw a news where a lady who did liposuction on the arms and caused her death as well. And it's very sad that why are these people? I'm sure they know these are not qualified doctors. I'm sure they know, right? And why are they still going to them?
I have no idea. I believe it could be due to wrong information given to the patient. So maybe they would mislead the patient by using wrong information, by giving wrong information. For example, they may convince the patient to say that it's okay for them to do. They have more experience than doctors.
Yeah.
They are more skillful than doctors and all that.
Yeah, all sorts of overclaiming.
Correct.
Without any responsibility, right?
Yeah.
Because they are not a doctor. You can't even revoke the doctor license because they are not doctor in the first place.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
all sorts of overclaiming.
Yeah, so I'm not saying no doctor makes mistakes, but when a doctor makes a mistake, they will rectify the issue.
Yeah.
They won't just dump you there and don't take care of the post complications.
Yeah. So sometimes when we think of a consumer, why are they making such a choice? A lot of times also maybe because of lack of education, you think? Maybe
Lack of education, yes, and I think price as well.
I don't think the price is too cheap. I don't think it's very cheap because I heard people saying that they do this type of breast fillers that cost them 20,000, 30,000. So it's actually, I think if you go to a proper doctor to do surgery, it might be also almost the same
Almost the
price.
same or less, maybe.
Yeah, or less, right? And you're going to a proper hospital setting rather than any don't know what apartment
Yeah.
house or
Yeah.
place that they just
So
do.
I think tips for general people out there, how to tell if a person is not a proper doctor. So first, you could actually search for their name in the KKM website. Okay. Number two, the premise has to be a proper registered clinic. It can't be in a hotel room. It can't be done at home and stuff like that. Okay, I know there are some beauticians who travel in Malaysia, going from state to state,
Yes.
performing aesthetic procedures
In the
or even
hotel.
surgery in the hotel room,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So these are not allowed.
Proper.
This is not proper. Yeah, it could lead you some complications and it might cost you your life, right?
And a lot of times, maybe people doesn't know about the complication and the risks as well. They will just think, oh, I do this, it looks good, and things like that. And they didn't know that
Yeah.
doing the wrong injectable might even make you blind.
Correct,
Or maybe it cause your nose to have damage.
Yes.
Or things like that. So maybe you can further explain how all this complication might take place.
So even like non-surgical procedure, like just merely doing a filler injection can lead to blindness. Yeah, that is because the filler material can obstruct fully or partially, our blood vessel. Yeah, that supplies our eye and give us our vision, right? So when this blood vessel is completely obstructed, it could due to blindness. So blindness, it can be temporary or it can be
Permanent.
Yeah. So imagine if you go to a beautician and that happened, where can you go to, right? At least if a doctor has caused you, you can go back to the doctor, or the doctor can help. Can seek help from another colleague to fix this problem, right? They can refer you to an ophthalmologist or something to at least get back your vision.
I think the worst thing is when things like this happen, the illegal practitioner will be like run away, right?
Yes, they will just dump the mess.
And the worst
Yeah.
case is when the doctor asks you, what did you inject to your face? And you can't answer.
Yeah.
So when you can't answer, even the doctor is trying to help, it's hard for them to help, right? Because they don't even know what is injected to their face.
Yes. Yeah.
So of course, another thing we also think that sometimes people actually know that they are not the qualified doctors to do, but they still choose to go. So I think that I feel is something that is very sad for me is the pressure, right? Sometimes you follow this influencer that always posts beautiful, perfect skin, perfect figure, perfect look that you felt that you want to achieve, right? So every day looking at social media, who people post this will actually makes you feel that you should go and do that service as well. I remember there are beautician who told me, Yen, you think what should I do on my face? I'm like, your face is so beautiful already. What else you want to do? Then she say, I don't know, because all my friends are doing their nose. I think I should do my nose. I said, there's nothing wrong with your nose. So you are so beautiful already. Please don't go and do unnecessary, right? But because they are being exposed to it all the time.
Yeah. They see you on their Instagram every day, right?
Yes.
Yeah. If like a business account keep posting the same content every day, it kind of lead you want to go to it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and of course, I feel to pursue beauty is, of course, a personal choice, right? Just now I'm saying, if you are a celebrity, you want to look as perfect as you can. But I feel it should not cause you death.
Yeah.
Right? So you can pursue your beauty, but
In
it
a
should
safe
not,
way.
Yes, it should not in the expense of your health or death, your life, right?
Yes.
So I think all these unregulated surgeries or injectable really rob people's life. And imagine this lady who has 2 kids.
Yeah.
Young kids.
Imagine the kids, right?
Yeah.
Who has just lost their mother.
Yeah. So I think it's so important for us to continue to raise awareness. Number one, I feel don't chase for unrealistic perfection, right? I think keep chasing that, it doesn't fill up, I don't know, whatever gap that you have. And secondly, if you want to achieve certain beauty, always find the most safe and trustable doctors.
Thank you so much for the sharing, Dr. Catherine and Yen. Very true indeed. Whatever shared here, it's actually very real, and it's as a lot of consumers or audience that have watched this right now, we believe it has gone through. It's extremely usual to see a lot of things on social media, to see a lot of ads postings and all that on social media. But at the end of the day, we have to be diligent enough, okay, to actually know exactly what are we chasing for. We not at the expense of causing permanent damages to our own, not to mention death.
Yeah,
right?
I think another very important factor is if you're going through surgeries or something invasive, you need to take time to think. Don't do it out of pressure.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So impulsive, right? So I also remember the old times when I was going to Korea with my girlfriends, where they go to do cosmetic surgery. And when you're in that consultation room,
You feel like you want to
actually
go do it.
want to do it, and you actually want to do it immediately, right? At that moment, that 30 minutes, you feel like you want to do it. Then for me, after I see my friends come out, with the bandage and the eyes like can't really open and things like that, I'm just say, okay, I promise myself I'm not going to do this to myself. But you see, the impulsiveness is there, right? Even a person like me has so much of awareness. I will also feel that moment of weakness, right? You feel like I want to do it immediately. So I think when it comes to surgery, you really need to take time to think and research and
Yeah,
ask
I think
again and
research.
again, right?
Yeah,
Research and
is
ask
very
yourself.
important. Yeah.
And sometimes you want to ask why you do this for. Are you doing it to please your husband, or you are doing it for the wrong reason? Because if you're doing it for the wrong reason, after you do it, you still have this problem because it doesn't solve your problem. So I think anything that is invasive or even permanent, take time to really digest, research, think twice before you do it. I'm not saying you can't do it, you should do it if you really think there's a need. But always think and research. Yeah.
Yes, so like what Dr. Catherine shared earlier as well, always make sure you Google the doctor name, search and make sure it's a valid and certified doctor where you see in the KKM website, right? And also verify their premises, their clinic is actually located in a valid location with proper licenses and everything. Not some freelance, self-claimed surgical doctor that, travel and, do it in proper locations that is where, right, usually where all the irregulated and, kind of
happens.
illegal, I would say illegal procedures are
And
taking
never
place.
ever give in or think it's shy to say no. When you go to a place you feel it's too dodgy, don't just being pressured and do it. Sometimes I think people are at that situation, they just don't know how to
Correct.
say no.
They feel pressured to say yes.
Yeah. So nothing is more important than your life, right? You must think of your families, your loved one. Nothing is more important than your life. Just step out and leave the space if you think it's dodgy and
Yeah,
unreliable.
I know some of them use really pressuring words to convince their client. For example, they could be saying something like, oh, if you don't go through this surgery, you will look like that. Your husband won't like it. Your husband is going to
Shame
find
them,
another
right?
mistress and stuff like that and shame them. So I think if you encounter this kind of thing, you must know that this is just like a tactic to make you sign up. Yeah,
You
so
also-
you must know how to say no. Okay.
Yeah, all the illegal brainwash thingy, that the extent that people are willing to go, to brainwash, the impulsiveness in humans' nature is really, this is what usually causes the mistake that has been done, lah. Right?
Actually,
in all
I
this.
think one is that technique, right? Where people shame and pressure. But I think there's also another technique where they will say, this doctor is so, and they actually call them doctor.
Yeah, I'm aware. Some of them.
Oh, doctor, this doctor come from where, right? So I think another thing that we might want to highlight is if somebody claims that this doctor come from Korea, this doctor come from China, actually it's also illegal to practice it.
Correct. Overseas doctor, if they are proper doctors, they do need to apply like certain license to perform some surgery in Malaysia.
Yeah. So there's no way, overseas doctors comes and proper doctor, they will never go to a beauty salon place to perform all this surgery.
Correct.
And if this doctor is so good, why are they here? Right? They are here because they want to practice on you. It can be that, right? They are practicing on you. Do you want to risk, being practiced? I think, yeah. And sometimes you'll see like, it's so hard to book this doctor and things like that. I already booked you. If you cancel it now, you need to pay or whatever. You can always report them.
It's just a sales tactic, right?
Yes. So there are so many ways they can corner you and pressure you. So, make your research. If you think this place is not reliable, don't even step in.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Catherine and Yan, for the sharing. We have certainly learned a lot, and I truly believe, this episode will really benefit all of us here. It would also be a very good reminder, again, a refresh and a reminder to every one of us that making such important decisions should not be coming from impulsiveness, but a thorough research and, a thorough consideration, I would say. So make sure you do all your homework, okay? Google your doctor name and all that to make sure your procedure and everything is safe. So thank you everyone again, and please feel free to DM us if you have any questions on our Facebook or Instagram Beauty & Co. Clinic. If you have any questions, just let us know. We shall see you in our next episode. Thank you.